Hi, I'm Michelle Onifray with International Mountain Connection. Welcome to Mountain Madness. In this video, I'm going to talk about the word fit. And if you are someone who works in a store that sells or rents equipment for the mountains, or even clothing, or if you are someone who is a guide or an instructor for mountain activities, or if you are someone who works in the Office of Tourism or a visitor center, fit is a great word for you. And if you stay tuned, I'll share with you another way that we use the word fit. When we use the word fit, it can mean that something is the right shape or size. If you work in a store that rents or sells equipment for the mountains, this is important because you need to make sure that your customer buys the right size. And if you're a guide or instructor, you need to make sure that your client has the right size for their equipment before you start your activity. So how do we use the word fit in this context? You might say something like, "Do your shoes fit?" "My ski boots don't fit right." "Does his t-shirt fit?" "Her helmet doesn't fit." With any of these situations, the person is talking about whether or not their equipment or their clothing is the right size or fit. If it is the right size, the product fits. If it is not the right size, then the product doesn't fit. If it's a piece of equipment that you need to adjust because it's too big or too small, then you can loosen or tighten the equipment. And if you don't know about those two words, then I put a link up here for you to look at. Another way that we use the word fit is to say that someone is healthy and strong. For example, when I was going on a mountaineering trip with a guide, he asked me several different questions. He asked questions like, "Are you fit? How fit are your friends?" Based on the answers that we gave the guide, he gave us several different routes to do as training to make sure that we would be fit for our mountaineering trip. So if someone is healthy and strong, we would say that he or she is fit. The last way that we use fit is not only good for guides and people who work in stores that sell equipment, it's also good for people who work in visitor centers or in tourism offices where they're trying to direct clients where to go and visit. So in this way that we use the word fit, it means that something is suitable or a good choice. Let me give you an example. Let's say that you are proposing 3 different hikes. The first hike is really steep and maybe it's 25 kilometers long. This is a hike for someone who has a lot of experience. The second hike is not as steep, but maybe it's still fairly long. And the third hike is only about 5 kilometers long and it has great views and it's accessible for people with reduced mobility. So if your client has reduced mobility, then hike number 3 is the best fit for them. If you're trying to find equipment for a mountain activity, sometimes it can be difficult because there are so many choices. So if you're talking to a customer and they're looking at 2 different products, if one piece of equipment is better for a beginner and another piece of equipment is better for someone with more experience, you can help the customer find the equipment that's the best fit for them. It's the best choice based on their level. Let's say you are at a visitor center and someone wants more information about the area. If this person is not interested in sports, then maybe something that is a cultural activity is a better fit for them. So let's review. There's one way that you can use the word fit which means it's the correct or right size. Another way that we use the word fit is to say that someone is healthy and strong. And then the last way that we use the word fit is to say that something is a suitable or good choice. So what about the other way that we use the word fit? I talk about this not because it is something related to mountains, but because in America we don't use this definition. So let me explain. In the UK or in other places, let me know. If you say that someone is fit, it means that they are good looking, they are attractive, they are hot. So saying that someone is fit means that you find that their appearance is pleasing. Let's see if I can use fit with all of these definitions in one sentence. All right, here we go. I now have climbing shoes that fit. So I think the 6B climbing route would be a good fit for me because I've been working out a lot and I'm really fit, said the fit climber. There you go, all 4 versions of fit all together. If you want to know when the next International Mountain Connection video is out, all you have to do is hit the subscribe button and the bell. And remember, why trust International Mountain Connection with your English training? Because Brian isn't in the kitchen, he's in the mountains. I'll see you soon. Bye.